The Trump administration has threatened to impose tariffs as high as 100% on a range of French goods, including sparkling wine, cheese and handbags. The broadside comes from a response to France's new digital tax, which Washington says discriminates against US digital companies like Google, Apple, Facebook and Amazon. Well, for more on this, we're joined in the studio by Euronews journalist Alistair Sanford. Morning, Alistair.
Morning, Rosie.
I gave a few examples there, but what products are we talking about and what level of tariff?
Well, I've got a few more examples here. I've printed up the US trade document, and it's got 3 pages of products, some of which I've highlighted. It's mostly food and consumer goods, includes things like yogurt, cheese, including brands like Roquefort. Wine, it was thought that all French wine might make it onto the list, but in fact, only sparkling wine is included. That means the champagne, of course. Also things like soap, makeup, handbags and porcelain. Now, all these could be subject to proposed duties of up to 100%. We're not there yet. All this still needs the approval of the president himself. So far, it's just a trade document. There would then be a consultation period, so it wouldn't take effect until mid-January. Interesting timing here, of course, because this comes just as President Trump is due to meet Emmanuel Macron on the sidelines of the NATO summit.
What's Donald Trump's motivation here? Is it sort of tit for tat?
It is basically, but it's part of a bigger picture as well. You mentioned in the introduction the infamous GAFA tax, Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon. France has garnered a loan here after an EU-wide plan for a digital tax got stuck. So in July, it imposed this 3% tax on these tax giants, arguing strongly that they should be taxed on their digital activity where it happens and not just where the companies have their base. Now, the US launched an investigation into it, and now the Trade Department says that the French tax is unreasonable or discriminatory or burdens or restricts US commerce. It criticises what it calls growing protectionism among EU countries, which some may find slightly hypocritical, and it says it's exploring whether to extend this to other countries. Now, France is holding firm. Even before this announcement, the finance minister said France would never ditch this tax, and it's accused the US of dragging its feet towards trying to reach an international agreement.
You hinted at it a little bit, Alistair, but this isn't the first time that the US have threatened tariffs on Europe. What's the likelihood of these ones actually coming into force?
Yes, there's been a long-running row between the Trump administration and Europe, particularly over aircraft subsidies. The US has long said that European aid to Airbus harms the American industry, and it says that WTO rulings back up its case. Now, in October, the US put 25% tariffs on European products, including things like French wine and Italian cheese. France has threatened to respond with sanctions over all this, and it's backed up by Europe. The French agriculture minister described the threat against French wine as moronic and absurd at one stage. Trump's move has brought warnings from American business that this could be counterproductive. As I say, it's all part of a bigger picture. US has also slammed tariffs now on Brazil and Argentina over steel. The markets are getting nervous about the ongoing trade war with China. The US move on digital could be a warning to other countries not to follow France. And France, of course, will be looking to the EU, perhaps, to join it so that there's safety in numbers here.
Alistair, thank you very much for that analysis.